Hello, welcome to Yoga How To. We are going to talk today about Sangha, which is a Sanskrit word meaning community or spiritual community, a group of like-minded people who are on a spiritual endeavor, and how important that is in terms of staying dedicated to your yoga practice, staying accountable to your yoga practice, and growing in healthy ways as an adult, because let's face it, relationships are tough. These two seem to be getting along just fine. Let's get into it. A few years ago, I'm trying to remember how many, 2, 3 maybe, my Wednesday morning class started to kind of not really feel done by the end of it. And actually, this was right after COVID, I'm remembering now. And there was just this real need for needing to be around each other, to be in community and connected. And it wasn't that many people who just eventually just started going to coffee and tea together. And it was kind of a natural thing because, like, you just did a pretty vigorous yoga class, so kind of hungry. Let's go get something to eat. Why not? Why don't we? Fast forward many years later, and some of the social norms that have kind of outcropped in really natural and also unofficial ways has been that this group, there's kind of like, there's really 2 rules to this group. And one rule is that anyone is welcome to come for any length of period of time. They can come for a little bit, they can go early, they can stay late, whatever. And the other one is that we try to have at least one opportunity during our time together to focus on some kind of yoga topic that usually comes through in the context of a question. And sometimes the questions are like kind of benign. They're like, what was, like, sometimes it's like, what was your favorite Halloween costume when you were growing up? And then, like, come to find out, like, some people weren't allowed to celebrate Halloween, and that, like, became cathartic for people to be able to talk to about it as an adult, like some of their pain around that. And another one that was like a total surprise was we asked about your first athletic experience, or like a formative athletic experience when you were young, and like almost everybody in the group had a pretty, I don't know if I want to say traumatic, but they were like traumatic athletic experiences as a kid. Other times they'll be more yoga focused, but even when they're not directly related to a yoga philosophy or a yoga practice, they're always heart-centric, which to me is kind of the hallmark of yoga and yoga community. So anyway, in today's video, we celebrated the beginning of October and a fall by taking a little hike over to Palmer Park, right across the street from our studio. And I simply asked the question to the people who are pretty regulars for our Wednesday tea crew: what does Sangha mean to you? How has it helped your yoga practice? How has it helped you stay committed? And what might you tell somebody else who might be either adverse to socializing in the context of a yoga studio, or thinking that yoga is something that happens in isolation and doesn't happen in community? So hang out, sit in on the conversation this week, let us know what you think, and we'll see you on the other side. Till next time.
What a fun time. I came to teacher training purposely with the goal of not making any friends, and I'm so glad that that's not what happened. And I think I've had so much shame around just like who I am and just my existence, and the community. Like, over time you slowly just start to feel like you're not alone in your experiences, and that can, I think, really just snowball, that you peel off more and more layers together and collectively, and that just helps us all tap into our deepest power.
Okay, I can say one big thing for me has been, regardless of what's going on in my life, there's always the yoga schedule, and I can always show up and do something consistent with people I know that it's going to be a positive experience. So that's a big thing about yoga for me, community-wise.
Sangha, the community here, is so important to me just because of the people that I've met here, the acceptance of everyone, just the love. Everybody is so willing to experience your life and your journey with you and help to support you along the way, encourage you in whatever way they can. And this community at Cambio has just meant the world to me.
It's a group of people that come together with so many different life experiences that you wouldn't normally get to interact with and engage with in your day-to-day life. And you get to find that commonality and hold each other up, lift each other up, literally pick each other up and dust each other off, and just be champions for each other.
I have been accepted as who I am, and there's no need to be any different. And Sangha, for that reason, is so important.
Since I moved here about 6 years ago, Cambio has been my social community for people. And one thing that really strikes me as being one of the senior members of the community, younger people tend to ignore us and kind of look right through us, but at Cambio that's not true. I've been accepted as part of the group, and I really appreciate that.
Just really appreciate the social support so much, and the encouragement to dig a little deeper and kind of reframe things and use the philosophy and other things we've learned to just help change our perceptions.
So I guess Sangha means, what it means to me is just, I really enjoy the support and the friendship, and mostly the support, I think, from everybody. And also it gives us the opportunity for us to delve into life's questions deeper, because we tend to do that with the weekly question, and it kind of just, opens things up for me. I think for me, it helps me learn greater compassion for one another. It just opens up my heart more.
Would I have stuck with yoga to the extent that I have had it not been for the community? No. The community is here to always welcome me, always make me feel like I'm a part of something bigger than myself, and that is more than just doing poses on a mat.
You ready?
Yep.
So when people are thinking about starting yoga, we all have different ideas in our minds about what yoga is or should be or what it looks like, and we see all these images of people twisting themselves into pretzels on Instagram, and we think that's what yoga is, and it's really not. Yoga is about honoring yourself and your body and giving it what it needs. And the yoga community is also really non-judgmental. So when you get into a studio, no one is looking at you and judging you and wondering why you're not going deeper into your poses. Everyone is at a different place, and we all know to respect that. It's not about keeping up, putting that in air quotes. It's about finding the place in your body where you need to be. So it's not about turning yourself into a pretzel, and I guess that's about it.
Okay, maybe. So I think that in finding a Sangha and finding community, especially during this time, is to remain open and vulnerable, because it's really easy for us to kind of close things off and be like, well, I'm not associated with.
I think what we've proved in these answers is that we all actually want to be there for each other. I think that so much of the time we feel like we are a burden to other people. Maybe I'm projecting. but like that, I think that is where our power lies, is that we all have unique ways of taking care of people, and that we want to like actually fulfill that. And I think that is a lot of where our power lies.
What I appreciate most about Sangha is learning from one another's experiences and our hardships that we share with each other, and learning a new perspective from those. Also supporting one another through those.
Petey boy, what would you like to say to the people at home about yoga? Thank you, sir. That was almost as verbose as Rebecca's. Okay.
Yeah, so this group, Wednesday group, got together and has morphed over the years. We've become this big, fabulous group by doing Austin's class on Wednesday morning and then getting together for coffee and really developing friendships and encouraging each other through the difficulties that we've had, whether it's parenting or puppies or deaths and hardships. And the community that has developed with this group is truly supportive and yet still encourages us to be the best that we can be, because we can see in each of us that spark that makes us wonderful, and yet we know that it can grow brighter.
All right, so if you're thinking about starting yoga and you don't realize that community can be a part of it, I think to try and go in with an open mind, because you never, I mean, like me, whereas like I purposely was like, I don't want to build any friendships or make any connections. And I'm so grateful that like I didn't stay stuck in that mindset, and you just never know. I mean, I think that we do have a loneliness epidemic, and I think that what we need so much is connection, and it can be casual or it can be deep, and either way, it's real and it's important, and I think we need it more than we realize.
Okay, well, that was pretty great. I'm super glad we took some time to get to share from some other voices on here and hear what it means to be in community when you're practicing yoga, and how that it's easy to take for granted that when you gather around people who are in a spiritual community or yoga community who care about learning and growing and healing, that it's what you end up finding is oftentimes, despite what you may think you need, what you actually really need. And sometimes these relationships, they've taken, I mean, some of these people that are in this video, geez, I honestly cannot tell you how huge they've been in my teaching, in my ability to continue to facilitate the role that I do in the community. And it's been something that's been developed with so much generosity and so much grace for so many years. So it's a really beautiful thing. It's something I cherish. It's something that is irreplaceable to me. And I encourage you, if you don't have one, to go find one, or maybe sometime come hang out with us. If you have something you'd like to share about Sangha and how it's helped you on the spiritual path, stay consistent with your yoga practice, stay accountable, continue to grow, or just helped you learn, heal, or grow along the way, post in the comments. We'd love to hear about how, where, why, and what happened for you. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.